course, I'll be using Affinity Designer to create my character. Affinity Designer is a photo editor very similar to Photoshop, and I'll be using this software because I don't have Photoshop, but if you do have it, that's absolutely fine. Go ahead and follow the process and then apply it to Photoshop. Now at the end of this course, you will be able to create your own silhouette character using an image that you found from the internet and some photo editing software. You'll also be able to save your design as a PNG or a JPEG file so you can use it in future craft projects. Now, please note, if you've got Adobe Elements, which is another photo editing piece of software, you won't be able to do this, and that's because Elements doesn't have the pen tool, which is what's needed for this project. And that brings me nicely onto the tools that you need. You can produce these images if you have either a laptop, PC or a Mac, and then you'll need some graphic design software, which I've mentioned already, such as Affinity Designer or Photoshop or any other photo editing software that has the pen tool. Now, if you haven't got any of those, don't worry. There are some free editing software programs on the internet, such as Graphic Designer, which is available online as a tool to use or as a downloadable tool. Paint.net, which I have used before and is pretty good actually, but that's only available for Windows users. And then Inkscape, which I haven't used, but I've looked and that's also available. So all the links to those pieces of software are available in your notes in the course. So let's get started. First, you'll need to find yourself an image. Now, I recommend looking for something with a clearly defined shape like a palm tree, owl, cat, and in today's example, I've selected a hedgehog. There are lots of places listed in our resources section about where you can find suitable images from, but I do recommend that you look for a royalty-free or non-copyright image, especially if you plan on selling your work in the future. I love Flickr and unsplash.com. They've got some really cool and lovely vintage images and they're free to use mostly, but you can of course use any source that you like. You can go onto Google Images, for example, but do watch out for that copyright issue. So here's the image that I'm going to use to make my silhouette character. And here is a JPEG file. Now, as you can see from this image, he's quite clearly defined. And that's great for tracing around. And he's also not too complicated for starting out with.